What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. And in this video, let me set the record straight, people, on exactly what this 50 million share offering is that AMC did yesterday, okay? Now, I'm over here on YouTube, and I see that my buddy Donahue George did a video about it, and he's talking about how Adam Aaron gave 50 million shares of AMC to Goldman Sachs to hedge their short positions. And he's so mad, and he was foaming at the mouth practically, and I'm thinking at any moment he's going to jump on a Archer taxi service and fly his ass to Kansas and whoop Adam Aaron's ass. He's so mad about this offering. And then I come over here and I'm watching the Clown News Network, and for an hour, Cowboy Clown and Marcus with Mayhem is trying to convince everybody that Donahue and people who believe what Donahue believe is nothing but conspiracy theorists. There's nothing to their claim that Adam Aaron is helping the shorts. And Tony told us in this live stream that he's been telling y'all that AMC was going to do this dilution because they were going to run out of money and they were still trying to starve off bankruptcy. He's been warning us that this dilution that he said he called it to the day was to starve off bankruptcy, not to help the shorts. Now, which one of them's right? Because both of them can't be right. I don't care how some people believe that we could just agree to disagree. We're reading the same. No, bullshit. It's either conspiracy that Adam Aaron is helping the shorts, or he's really doing what's best for the company and trying to keep us out of bankruptcy. So let's evaluate the proof and the evidence and see what's going on. And I guarantee you, people, you're going to have a clear understanding of which one, Donahue or Clown, is going to be right. First off, this is a forward agreement, okay? This, when I told everybody in the first video that he just did this a few minutes after the paperwork fell, I told y'all this was different. It's not like any other at the market offering. This was a forward agreement. I didn't have time to explain then because I was busy trading in the Forex market, but I'm here to tell y'all what it means now. First off, there was no money given from Goldman Sachs to AMC. All right? Goldman Sachs did not give AMC any money. AMC did not give Goldman Sachs any shares. All right? There has been no transactions between the two companies, okay? If AMC did not receive any money and Goldman has not received any shares, then how are they trying to do this dilution to keep out of bankruptcy? See, that narrative doesn't work here. They have not transacted anything. This has nothing to do with bankruptcy. This has nothing to do with the financials. This is a forward agreement between Goldman and AMC to purchase 50 million shares of AMC at a certain time in the future at a particular price. Now, think about it like this. What is an option? An option agreement to buy a share of a company sometime in the future at a certain price. Now, this is where things get kind of screwy, okay? Because an option is the right but not the obligation to buy that share at a certain price at a certain time. Whereas this 50 million share forward agreement that Goldman Sachs has entered into, they have the obligation to purchase these 50 million shares at a certain price at a certain time. Let's say 6 weeks from now, all right, is when the trigger for this dilution to happen. And Goldman will buy the 50 million shares 6 weeks from now. And they've agreed to buy it at $5.20 a share. But between now and 6 weeks from now, what happens if the price of AMC tanks and it goes to $2? Goldman still has to buy the 50 million shares at $5.20 or whatever the agreed upon price was that they entered into. Just like if they were in an options contract and someone exercised their right to buy them shares and the person has to give them the shares, all right, same thing here. They will have to buy the 50 million shares at a certain time, at a certain price, regardless of price fluctuation. And then that stopped me in my tracks, and I'm having to ask myself, why would Goldman Sachs take such a risky bet? As manipulated as this stock's price is, they're going to agree to buy 50 million shares of AMC sometime in the future, 6 weeks or 6 months from now, at a predetermined price of $5.20. When tomorrow we could wake up and this son of a bitch be at $2, you know how they do us. So why would they take such a risky bet? Now the first obvious answer is exactly what Donahue said, okay? That their share locates. That if the shit hits the fan on Wall Street, say in January when Trump takes office and they come in and they start busting ass, Goldman Sachs can point and say, we have 50 million shares of AMC right there in their vault. So they're covered. All right, that's the most obvious answer that there is. All right, but dig just a little bit deeper. Okay, I got to thinking, what is this offering? How big is this offering? 50 million shares of AMC that Goldman Sachs has agreed to buy at a certain price in the future. 50 million shares, people. Looking at my phone real quick, let me tell you something. AMC's float is 375 million shares. So, if Goldman Sachs buys, ain't no if, they've already made the agreement, they're gonna buy 50 million shares, that will give them more than 11% of the float. What the hell is really going on here? That this offering right here gives Goldman Sachs 11% of the company? Interesting, don't you think? Because we've been knowing all along, or at least those that follow the bouncing ball knows, that they're trying to pawn AMC off on somebody. Somebody's trying to take over AMC. And here we see 50 million shares, 11% of the company has been agreed to be sold to Goldman Sachs. Or Goldman Sachs can go sell it on the market to anybody else. But the point is, Goldman Sachs has the power to own 11% of the company. Then I decided, let's dig just a little bit deeper and see what else we can uncover. And I find out that Goldman Sachs owns, right now, 2 million shares of AMC, 2.5 million, something like that. 2.5 million. And they just increased their position in AMC from 2.5 million to 50 million? And you tell me something's not fishy here? Something's going on. This gives Goldman Sachs bigger shareholder position than BlackRock and Vanguard. All right? Goldman Sachs will essentially be running AMC with 11% of the vote. Something is brewing at AMC. So, no, it was not to starve off bankruptcy as the clown wants to try to promote, because he has to have some narrative other than Adam Aaron was helping the shorts, when it's obvious that his share locates that they could point to and say, we got 50 million shares right here when the shit hits the fan on Wall Street in January. And this also gives them over 12% of the float of AMC come election time. So with that, love y'all. Be blessed. See you in the next video.